Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have lots of fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. And while I say fun, I am getting the inclination to remind you that the word fun is five. Of course, that is also the number for Christ. It's also the number for Eve. It's also the number for lots of lovely things that we have discovered. We have been doing this on templates to numerology. So if you're new to this channel, please check out my templates to numerology or to actualize in self-love. That would be there as well. And I felt it was necessary after having this closer look of Mother Eve, who equals 5 through the numbers 1 and 4, 14, and with the numerical value for Eve, and saw that there is so many very key words that seem to affect us, as in the frequency of Mother Eve, positively too, if we choose to do that. So if our mouth, for instance, equals 5, what do we do with our mouths? Our the I, which we are talking of the single I, which would be what Matthew in the scriptures would be referring to when it is said, if thy eye be single, then all thy body will be light. And isn't that what Christ has asked us to do, to shine our light? Now, Christ also equals 5. Okay, so in this presentation, we want to look at the number 6. We are looking at the number 6, and I have drawn on to number 5 because 5 and 6 seem to be very interrelated. Of course, hence we could say we have 5 senses, but if it were not for the 5, could we say we have 6 senses? Perhaps that's another way of looking at it. But I want to say, good news, good news. It reminds me of when I started my presentations, of course, these presentations on directions. And I was looking at the 4 points, so our 4 global points, north, south, east, and west. And of course, I was able to see how the word news, and I believe that's how news have come about. Basically, we can't argue that's how news have come about. So when I was doing the north, south, east, and west, well, of course, I've got some splendid spirit guides helping me because I'm not doing this on my own hair. But let's look at this, for instance. So we have this. I think we should use some contrast or in line of what we already have. If you're new to this is Mother Eve. This is, well, when we say Mother Eve, it's also us. We are Eve. We are Eve. Okay. And this is the dots, because we are forever occupied with connecting the dots. That's what it's all about, connecting the dots. And as I said, Mother Eve, well, there's Adam in the back, is wondering, are you not mentioning me as well? Yes, we are. There's Adam in the back, there's Eve here. Okay. Of course, Adam being in the back. Well, Adam has been in the front or in the limelight for a long time, of course. Mother Eve has been put in the back before, or to be seen as the naughty girl to stand against the wall. And now we are saying that your time for getting off that wall is over. Your time for shining your light has come. Your time for the truth to be known has come. So that is what we are about on this channel. Your time for acknowledging the love that you have given us and the love that we too are receiving from your teaching us how to be on this spectrum of that good news, good news. It was just as Mother Eve had seen that the fruit was good for food. Food equals, I think, okay, well, good equals 5 anyway, which correlates very well with Mother Eve because that's 5. And of course, as I say and continue to say, Christ also equals 5. So this is where we get into that news. That was a new thing. That was the first news. That was the first news. It's like we could almost hear all the creatures in the Garden of Eden saying, "Did you hear? Did you see? She ate of the fruit and saw it was good, and her eye was open." So there was news. That news have been going on non-stop until this day. Did you hear? Did you see? And of course, everyone's eyes are open. And Christ, in his teaching now, had gone around with the same proclamation. Good news. Good. Let's look at good. Good. This is 4, 6, 6, 7. So this is 10. 10 and 13 is 23. 23, 2 and 3 equals 5. Now Christ equals 5. So it's no wonder Christ was on about the good news too, of course. And I can understand that. Hence, I'm going to say that it's the Emmet Fox as well. Nothing can come into your consciousness until it finds something like itself on which to attach itself to. So there had to be a very strong attachment with Christ and Eve. And we see that attachment was reflective in Christ's teachings when he would go, this is the good news, the gospel, or the apostles would be going on with the good news. So we see, let us look at the word news, of course. This is what we are talking about. We want to see how we are further exploring how 5 and 6 are so interrelated. So there we are. This is north. This is south. This is east. And this is west. Now I have done this in my direction or good news. In fact, if you check my videos, you would see I have got presentations on good news. I think I need to try and let's just raise this up a bit more so it's easier on my hand. Okay, or perhaps pull it back a bit. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Okay, and one more. Okay, that's better. Oh, much better. Okay, so there we are with the good news. Okay, and so we see how north, south, east, west becomes NEW, and this is the S, the 5 is the S, because of course 5 looks very much like an S, although it hasn't got the same numerical value, I must add, but it is, you could say, in equivalent of its nature or characteristics, as it's the same as Eve in this sense. So there we are, S, the S. In fact, we have let's see. Oh, okay. There must be something about this intermission here. All right, so there is S, and so the good news falls here. When we have, if we were to have add this up, this would be 4 5s 20. Oh, my pen has dried up. Okay. We leave it to expose. Let's get another one. So this is 5 and 3 5s 15. 15, and we have S. So 15 and 1 would be 16. That would give us 7. But that's not what we are working on here now. Let's work with this new, because this is what it was about, the good news. Of course, we have plural here, but every news or every clip of news would be new. Of course, let's see that. But we have news here. Okay, so we have news, but we can see how news come about. This is the point I want to make. So 3 5's 15 here and 1 16. Let's look at it like this because that's what it is. Let's look at it. This is 7. But we have 3 5's here, which comes under all new in the middle column. This was 15. 15 and 1 and 5 is 6. Okay, so already we are seeing how 5, the number 5 and the number 6 really shows here. This is numbers 1 to 9, and of course with the letters with that numerical value of 5 each is 3 5's 15 because we are exploring number 6. Okay, but I do want to draw on the good news. That's why I'm exploring this, and I'm hoping that it transpires in a way that shows its authenticity without me having the need to manipulate it into making it happen, because it has happened. Okay, so we had the North, North. Let's look at that. North, this is 10 and 9 19, and 11 would be 30. So that's 3. The East, we have done this before, equals 9. So that's 9. The South equals South equals 20, and the West equals 13, or is it West? This is 10, 11, 12, 13. I have a splendid memory. So 13 is 4, of course. 20 is 2, because we are doing the single digit. So let's just add these together and see what happens here. Because 3 and 9 is 12, 13, 14, 14 and 4 is 18. Okay, so this is 9. So this in effect is showing us how the news is taking into account the whole aspect of that sacrifice that we are living day to day doing, whether it was negative, positive, whether it seems selfish or not. But this is how the news we have been affected by the news, or the news have impacted upon us, or we impact on the news, or we are part of the news. And so I'm believing that this is letting us, or is as a reminder to us, to take charge of what news, or our participation, or our action or responsibility for what news goes out in our world. Because if we are in Christ, we are a new creature. That newness is like we are in a new environment that gets us to think in a new way, that gets us to behave in a new way. And so we ought to take responsibility when we are in this section. Be a new creature. Yes, that new creature is a Fox, but does it have to be that Fox TV? Has it got to be that Fox News? That is what we need to be questioning ourselves. How are we impacting on this? Or how is that 6 impacted upon us? Now, where is that 6 deriving from? This is another thing we need to be asking ourselves, so we can know how we are, who are we in that sense, and how are we involved in this news, or how are we receiving this news? How are we engaged in it? And how does it serve us? Or how does it serve the other? When I said serve us, I mean everybody for the highest good. And this is what we need to be, I want to be looking at as in that 6. So in actual fact, although we have looked at 3 5's 15, when we add 1 and 5 together, that gives us 6. But the word news from the north, south, east, and west, because there's another thing, and I'm very happy to see how, in fact, there's the other thing that just came to mind before I go much further. So we see how 6 has come through that, through, in fact, 9 has come through the news in that word form. But let's look at it in the um, abbreviations that we have, not just the abbreviations, the news. It's like NEWS. That's what I had been running away, going too far with this. Sometimes it happens, it happens, it happens. Okay. So, but this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. Okay. So it's N, there we are, NEWS. Of course. So this is the 3 5s 15. This is what we wanted to be doing. And of course, the south, it's like we are standing, it's like Christ, or being on the cross, if you like. And we know of the nails, the nail to the hands, the palms of the hand, and of course there's the head. Now again, if we were to do these numerical values for head, nails, all these are 9. But with that we will touch on when we get to that number. But we have NEW. This is 6. Okay, it's not really what I thought was in mind here, but we have because this is 3 5s, yes, and 1. It is, so that creates this and 1. S is 1, of course. 1. So this, okay, we have 7. So, but 7 in this sense, let's look at it as the 6th day of creation, the 7th day of rest. This is meaning that we are one. We are total. Because when we do the numerical value for 1, let's go back to this, because that's where we are. We are a new creature, so we are 1 then. So 5, 5, and 6. So I like the 6 and the 2 5s too. So that gives us 5 and 5, 10 and 1, and 10 and 6, 16. And so 6 and 1 is 7. Okay, and that equals 7. So we see that we are talking about one unit here. We are talking about one news, that is news, a news. Okay. We see that's good news, because good, of course, comes as number 5, and we see how news, all of those things hinge onto this column here. Now we see number 7, because with Eve, where we learned she had eaten of the fruit and saw it was good, the sawing, like we would say, as we have seen, the 7 has shown in the news. So that would be, as I say, you could imagine all the creatures going, did you hear of the news? You know, that was the total, that would encapsulate one error, well, it's an everlasting error because it's still going on, but it is that one. And we could see how it was so. If so, it was good, and then even that it is split, because there's the fork, so there's the saw. It's like the number 8 has been cut in half, but it's still an eye. It's like you have 2 eyes, but you have, it's like they split or divided. Then there's her husband has 1 eye, she has 1 eye. But we are talking in this sense, I really want to believe that we are talking about the 3rd eye, as we had seen in the word north. It's 3. So it's that 3 for north is indicating the 3rd eye. Isn't that really something? I think so. Okay. So north is 30, and we see that 3 here is indicating that 3rd eye. This is where we see the 3rd eye is in the middle. We talk about 3 5s 15, which takes us in that, it's in that section. Okay. the three fives, of course, as we have seen on the cross. And then we talk about we are here and we are talking about six. But we need to now look at how six is affecting us in that F, in this column here, when we are six. So I'm going to end this presentation on this note because this is just like a warm up, I believe, for the number six. When we think of the number six, I just want to end on this, that six is really said to be the number of love. It is the number that rules Venus. It's the number, if you are the sixth of the month, or the of if you're born the 6th of the month, or the 15th of the month, or 24th of the month, that means you are also governed by the number six. So 6, 15, and 24. Of course, we add this together, that would be 6, and that would be 6. 2 and 4 would be 6. So that's what we are looking at, how 6 has been impacted upon us. Of course, we hear about the sixth sense, and I think all of this is really important to know. So the more we understand our physical senses, there we would also have the opportunity to explore our sixth sense. Okay, and let's do that on the other presentation. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. If you have enjoyed this presentation, click the like button and share. Because this is how we do it. We share to actualize it. Self-full love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be a field because we are planting new seeds. Namaste. And spill over with love.